What's up everyone? Ed Ballou here, and I've got the results from my conundrum that I asked you to help with. So what were the results? So I had three options. One was to experiment with it and then share the results. Second one was to pay it forward somehow. Option three was to keep it for myself and figure out what to do with it. Obviously I'd still be sharing results, but which option won out? Well, here's the final tally, at least by the likes on YouTube. We had 23 votes for paying it forward and 21 votes for keeping it for myself. So that wins out. So I had a lot of feedback in what to do in paying it forward. There are tons of ideas and all over the place, and I really appreciate them. And as I was on my run today, I was thinking about how to do that, how to make it work. And then something had been boiling in my mind the last couple days if this was the option selected. So here's some of those details. Now, real quick, I like stories. Stories really, I don't know, inspire me. And so I thought back to even my childhood, sitting in church and hearing the story about the starfish. And if you've never heard it, oh man, it's a good story. It's a good motivator. And so I thought about that story, and very quickly an old man's out walking along the beach and he sees a young kid chucking these starfish into the ocean, and there's thousands of them rolled up on the seashore, and the kid is just chucking them into the ocean over and over again. And the old man comes up and says, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm saving the starfish." And he says, "Young man, why would you do that? Look, there's so many. There's no way you're going to save them all." And the little kid picks up one and he says, "I'll save this one." So that's what I thought about as I was thinking about motivating stories, is what if we as a community could make a difference for using for one hotspot in helping it go around this community, enlarge the community, and support that person as they're doing their experiments. And so I thought about it, and I kind of delayed some decisions or made it so that I could change things later on how it works out. But here are the details, and I welcome the feedback. I'll probably give about only 24 hours before we really start this process rolling through. So here are the details. Let's check them out. So to start with, we are going to I'm going to own the hotspot. I'm going to add it to a public wallet that I have created. I actually put the address out on my YouTube channel, and nobody's given it to it. So I'm like, all right, let's repurpose this thing. So it's a public wallet, and that's the thing that we're going to have to keep in mind as we move forward on this idea, is everything's going to be public, the earnings, everything. So it's going to be a little bit of an adventure in this regard too. So I'm going to own the hotspot. Now, okay, what do we do with our earnings? Well, it's going to be like the hosting programs out there, but we're going to flip the script on it. And we're going to have 95% of the earnings going to the host. We're going to try this. We're going to try it. And we're going to have 5% going back to a community fund. Now, what is that? I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go forward. So that is kind of the earnings breakdown. All right, so how are we going to support this person? Well, I was thinking of like a unique Discord group. We can get people together and support that. And if you're interested in joining, I don't know, maybe we can add it as a channel to an existing Discord like team or whatever. Maybe the helium. I don't know if I could ask for a favor in there. We'll see how that goes. But if not, you'll be invited to a group with me, and I'll help you get set up, talk about equipment, and we'll just hash it out. And of course, everything's going to be public on this: earnings, antenna usage, all of that kind of stuff. All right, so you'll get invited to a unique Discord group. All right, so how does that work? How are we going to start? Well, I'm looking for the lowest CalChip order number, the lowest one out there that is in Batch Eagle, which is going to ship very, very soon. I want to get this out as soon as possible. So we're looking for one has a quantity of 1 or 2. Okay, and we want to have this is about being decentralized. So this is a way of doing small orders with big impact. So, and you must have at least 3 or more hotspots around you within range. Okay, and we'll talk about that probably in the comments about what that range is. I know that with my Rack 8 dBi, I've gotten anywhere from 1 kilometer away to 32 kilometers, and your mileage may vary on what you're going to get with that. But in that maybe range, or maybe a little bit lower range, if you've got 3 or more hotspots within range, bingo, you're included in this. All right, so what happens? How long do they get to keep the hotspot? I'm still owning it, right? So yes, for now. We will have the hotspot hosted until the official CalChip order. So say I'm the host and I receive this, oh yeah, I'm gonna brand it the people's hotspot. If that's okay, or if I'm infringing on any rights, we can find another name for it. But for now, I'm gonna refer to it as this. All right, so once the official CalChip order is the notification goes out that it's being shipped, then we activate the whole process. And we could start that before, we'll figure it out. But this is kind of the moment where we're like, okay, miners are coming in, let's get the new miner out, okay? And then we will select a new person. And we may adjust the criteria over time. Of course, since it's all be public, we're gonna communicate this internally so that we don't have any miners stolen or anything else like that. We want to respect the anonymity of this process as much as can be done. There is some stuff that, of course, will be absolutely public, wallets and locations and all that kind of stuff. So if you're willing to participate in this experiment and get help along the way, you'll get your own hotspot, of course, because you already got your order in process. And this is a way to kind of push it forward and just get you started a little bit earlier. I know I would have loved this to figure out, and that's why I agreed to doing some hosting so that I could get scienced up and get my earnings up before I actually got my own hotspot. And that is an incredible advantage. And we're going to share all those results as we're going through this. So that is the criteria. Now, if you're thinking this kind of sucks, or we can, what can we do later? Well, these are the things that we can delay. We can change that percentage. Obviously, if I'm the one owning the hotspot, we can change the percentage based on some amount of consensus as we talk through this. But I really like this. I would rather start here. We're going to have to figure out what it takes to fund shipping the hotspot forward to the next person, if we're going to start including antennas and stuff in that package as well as we pay it forward. Or who knows, the wallet is a community wallet, so maybe people will be like, you know what, I love this experiment so much, I'm going to throw some HNT in there. Oh, location asserts, got it paid for. Here's an HNT. I like this, I want to see where it's going. So we're going to figure out how to adjust that percentage later. I would prefer to keep it at the 5%. And again, this community fund, I don't know what it means. We'll figure that out as we go forward. There's plenty of opportunities to help people that are in a tight spot, or if something happens, we'll figure it out. We'll maybe use this Discord group of the people who have paid this forward over time to help give feedback on that. All right, so should we change ownership? Should that be a thing too? Maybe we get to a point where, no, we would like to make a decision to change ownership to somebody. We could do that too. All right, or we could recall the device. If I get it back at some point and we choose that the experiment is done, everybody has kind of learned as much as they can about this, and it's time to end the experiment, then we could recall it, and then I could pay for the shipping back to me and figure out what to do from there. All right. My suggestion, though, is that this experiment could end if the hosting chain, the paying it forward chain, would continue until the order time to ship time, cycle time, if you're a geek like me and talking about cycle time, if that cycle time is within 4 weeks, then that would be the time. And I last heard from CalChip that the goal right now is 6 weeks. So if we get beyond that 6 weeks and we can even accomplish 4 weeks, if that's not doable, then we'll go ahead and change it. But that's a goal that I'm throwing out there, that this experiment could end and we could figure out what to do with it from there. Those are the details. Again, share with some other people. Obviously, we're going to have to figure this out. And again, I respect anonymity. So even if I have to figure out how to hand the phone to the person at the UPS store to give them the address so I don't see it, I'm fine with that. We'll figure all that out later. If you have any requests, if you're the person selected, we can figure out how to work with that. And then, of course, I could ask CalChip as well to check in on an order if you're in that quantity 1 or 2 zone, and just give me back a yes or a no with a given order number. No names, no addresses until we figure out what to do with it. Want to respect your anonymity and all of that as much as can be done. Hopefully you're willing to do this and get involved and play a part in this. So thank you for watching. Please get the word out. Let's figure out how to get this done so I can ship it like within 24 hours would be amazing, but maybe within 48 hours that I can have this on its way to someone. Let's see, community, how fast we can get this done. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this, and pay attention to the people's hotspot. Peace out.